Hey guys, it's the mighty GoatPervertor back doing a little bit more random play, but today this random play session isn't being done in the traditional sense of the way I originally announced that random play would be done. I kind of announced it as it would be me playing, I will do my commentary live, and kind of just talk about myself, give people a bit more insight to me, but today I'm actually not going to do that because I was playing Alan Wake today, and I really didn't have everything set up to do this live, but I still wanted to use the footage to make a video, even though it seems like people aren't that interested in Alan Wake. I don't know why, because Alan Wake is actually an absolutely great game. And it's kind of weird. While I was playing it, or while I have been playing it, because I usually play this game around like 4 in the morning after I get home. And one of the things that I realized with this game is that it actually does get me a bit nervous. Like, movies haven't been able to do it, period. I don't care what kind of movie you throw in front of me. It never gets my palms sweating. It never gets me nervous. It never gives that thrill or fear factor. However, other than Resident Evil and a little bit Silent Hill, Alan Wake is single-handedly the only game that I can think of that has been able to make me, dare I say, just a tiny bit, I don't want to use the word scared because it doesn't have me scared, but it does leave you nervous. It does have you at the edge of your toes. It does keep you awake, while you're playing it, of course. I mean, when the game goes off, there's no fear that these shadowy creatures are gonna come out of nowhere and I need my flashlight and a handgun to keep them off. But the game does keep you on your toes. It does instill a bit of nervousness, dare I say, a little bit of fear. And it, because of playing this game, it kind of got me thinking, because I do the whole random play and it's supposed to give a bit more insight to who I am as a person and such. I wanted to kind of discuss fear. I wanted to ask you guys what scares you? What gets you nervous? What what keeps you awake at night? I'll for me, there was a point where I was afraid of the dark, and let me put this into perspective, because currently I am not afraid of the dark. Currently, I love the dark. I prefer the dark over light. Honestly, if I could have black walls and black blinds and a black light and never go out in the sun, I would prefer that. I don't like doing things during the day. I don't like seeing a lot of people. I prefer to do everything at night. Anyone that knows me knows that I do everything at night. I work at night. I hang out at night. I go to the gym at night. I walk around at night. If I have to go jogging, I wait until it is nightfall. I don't do anything during the day. I try to stay in, maybe sleep a little bit, and that's probably it. I'm not a day person. So the fear of the dark is completely gone. But there was a time when I was actually afraid of the dark. It was more around the time when I was like a little kid. I would say we're talking pre-10. I was probably 7, 6, probably 8. And my father, he was the type of person where he kind of saw there was no room for fear with him. As long as I've known him, he feared nothing. And to have a son that had fear, I guess it angered him. So there was one night where, I don't know, I was really, I had to use the bathroom, and I was a little kid and I was afraid of the dark, and I woke him up, and he had just had like oral surgery, So, anyone that has had oral surgery, I've never had it, but anyone that's had oral surgery can basically say that it's pretty much one of the most painful ordeals you'll ever go through. And he had finally been able to go to bed, and I woke him up, and he was pissed off at the fact that I woke him up because I was afraid, and I didn't want to go to the bathroom alone. So what he what he then did was he made me go stand out in the dark. Like, I'm talking 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, stand out in the dark, outside, and it was a full moon at night, and you can hear all these weird sounds, around you. So, in the area in which I grew up, it wasn't like city, there weren't houses all over the place with cars. It was kind of rural, so you kind of heard all these weird sounds, things that you thought were animals. Like, of course, I was afraid of everything, the devil and all of that kind of stuff. So I thought things like that were kind of hanging around. So I was uber scared. And I don't know, that's the last night that I can remember ever being truthfully afraid of the dark, because standing out there facing my fear actually removed, in a manner, removed that fear from me. I don't know if I can attribute it to that night, but I don't ever remember being afraid of the dark from that point forward. And now in my adult life, there are only two things that I can truly think of that I fear. Well, one of them I don't even know that I fear. I just I hate rats. I hate all furry animals. I mean, raccoons. Not all furry animals, like dogs and cats. I like stuff like that, but raccoons, possums, rats, those things, like, they skeeve me out. Don't get me wrong. I'm not afraid of a rat. Like, if I saw a rat, I'm not gonna run like a little schoolgirl and hop up onto a bed and scream for my mommy. But you bring a rat near me, and I'm gonna pretty much get real defensive. I mean, raccoons and all of that other stuff, forget about it. There was one night I thought a raccoon was gonna attack me, and I pretty much like got out of there. There was no way I was messing with that raccoon. As a matter of fact, I hit a raccoon on my way home from work a few months back, and thing costed me like almost $700 worth of damage to my car. But I hate those animals. But I don't think I'm afraid of them. When it comes to fear, there's one thing that I can honestly say that I am afraid of. I am absolutely afraid of heights. I have a height phobia. I was just recently at a friend's house that overlooked a terrace, and well, it was a terrace actually, and just stepping out onto the terrace and looking over was like, holy crap. And it's kind of weird because I've done everything in my power to face my fear of heights. I mean, you think about it. If there's any theme park with a high roller coaster that I've been to, I've gotten on the roller coaster just so that I can face the fear of heights. Because I think that allowing a fear to prevent you from doing things is pretty much the worst thing that you can do to yourself. So you have to put yourself in a position where you are always trying to combat, always trying to overcome that fear. And the fear of heights, I'm always trying to overcome it, but it seems to never go away. It's always there. It's always looming. I've gotten on roller coasters. I've gotten on planes. I got onto, like, I guess what you could call like a parachute ride, where it goes really high and then it just drops. I've done it all. I'm actually even considering doing skydiving, but I haven't really gotten the full details on that yet, so I don't know how far away that is, but skydiving is one of my next endeavors, and I want to parasail. I have intention of going back to Miami probably in the next few months, and once I'm there, that's definitely something that's on my hit list as things to do, is parachuting. So I'm sorry, not parachuting, parasailing. So I'm definitely going to do that, see if that helps me overcome my fear. But there's a reason for me rambling on with about this. The reason is I'd like to know what you guys fear. Like what instills fear in you guys? What makes you nervous? What rattles your toes? What has you up at night? And do you allow these fears to stagnate you? Do you allow these fears to hold you in a position where it's like the fear has more power than you do? Or are you the type where you're like me? You face the fear. You do everything in your power to combat the fear. You will not allow that fear to prevent you from doing anything, because it's gotten to the point where when I feel fear, even if I feel a little nervousness, I mean, we could take a subject like women. There are a lot of guys that are afraid of approaching women, and I won't go as far as to say I'm afraid of approaching women, but you can't help but get that bit of nervousness in you when you have to go approach a female. And if I feel that nervousness, I use that to drive me, because the minute I feel as though my fear or nervousness is taking over, that gives me the strength. It makes me know that I'm stronger than this feeling, than this emotion. So I use that as a driving factor to accomplish things that I otherwise would not have. So, I mean, a lot of you guys don't comment. You check the videos out, but you don't really comment. I'm hoping that you guys are going to comment, because I'd be very interested to hear what you guys are afraid of, what you do to combat that fear, and let's just discuss it. Let's get a discussion going, and if you choose not to comment, then you don't comment. What can I do about that? As a matter of fact, I'll probably make my next video discussing women, since I brought up the whole topic of approaching women and nervousness and fear and the way women react when you approach them, that kind of thing. Maybe I'll touch on that in my next video. So yeah, let me know what you guys allow to render you render you useless, render you still. What causes fear? Anyway, this has been GoatPervertor for Random Play. I am going to close the video now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me. Rate, comment, subscribe. This has been GoatPervertor, and I'm out. Peace, y'all.